Celestine Wanjala. I'm an assistant director cattle, and I'm a component head of this tenure component. So tenure regularization component supports counties and communities to undertake planning and survey, specifically on public land where tenure has not been formalized. So we support counties and communities to plan and survey these lands, and eventually we issue them or confer them with security of land. When we started cusp in 2011, we intervened in about 80 settlements across 14 counties, and we can proudly say that we have assisted communities to get issued documentations for these lands that they own, that they settle in. So we have had good stories from communities where we have impacted, and we feel like the project is really doing good. In Nyeri, and I can specifically talk about the Colonial villages, we got requests from Nyeri County to support them in regularizing most of the colonial villages and the settlements where beneficiaries are settling. We intervened in about 19 settlements, and in these 19 settlements, we have finally issued them title deeds for their lands.
Naitwa Rudi Washira na mimi ni mkaaji wa hapa Colonial village. Nimekaa hapa kwa muda wa miaka 20 hivi. Tangu cusp ikuje nimeona mabadiliko mengi sana. Kwa maana sasa mimi ni mkaaji wa hapa, nimesema, na nimekaa almost 20 years. Kwa wakati wote sikuwa na title, lakini kwa sasa niko na title ya property yangu. Hiyo kwanza nimeona maendeleo mazuri sana.
And they are very happy we get good stories from these settlements. Under cusp 2, where we are also intervening in about 180 settlements across 28 counties, we are also in Nyeri and we are also in Kirinyaga. So Kirinyaga being our first county for this cusp 2, we have about 19 villages, colonial villages, that we are supporting them to regularize tenure.
My name is Samuel Kajobe. I'm the CCM in charge of lands, physical planning and urban development, county government of Kirinyaga, under Her Excellency Anne Mumbi Waiguru. And in Kirinyaga, we are part of the team that is benefiting from the Kenya Informal Settlement Program, cusp 2. And in cusp 2, we are captured under Lot 6. In this Lot 6, 11 villages were identified out of 148 villages.
So the county itself has about 150 colonial villages. The project is working in 19 villages, and these are very key villages. They are very packed, and the densities are very high. And in these villages, we expect about 2,500 to 3,000 titles to benefit beneficiaries in this settlement, and then this totals up to about 14,000 direct beneficiaries.
Nafanya biashara na tukipatiwa hii title naweza enda nichukue mkopo na nisaidike kwa biashara zangu zile nafanya.
But once we give title, you give people more security, security of tenure, and then you allow them financial freedom. They can go to a cooperative bank, a cooperative society. They can go to a bank and be able to borrow against those collaterals and be able to develop like every other person does when they have a piece of property.
Where we have been, we have seen families really overjoyed because they can now take their children to school. They can now do businesses because they can get loans and be able to get capital to start their businesses. They have been able, because of the security of tenure, been able to do commercial buildings within those structures without fear of being pushed away by the county or so. So these socioeconomic benefits are quite a number. We have had people saying they had their relatives in court and they could not bail them out, and because of those documents, they are able to even bail them out. So actually we can see the transformation, we can see a lot of socio-economic benefits within these counties and these communities.
Cusp 1 is where we were in the tenure regularization, where the same settlement issued with title deeds. We believe it's a colonial village. Colonial means just it was a containment area during the colonial times. And since that time until cusp 1 came, these people have been staying without titles. They have been squatting. Squatting means you are there without any proper ownership documents. So cusp 1 came, they were able to get the title deeds, and with the wisdom of the designers of this project, they felt having a title without any supportive facilities may not really help. So cusp 2 now came in. After you got your title, how can we help you further improve your life? That's why now we are doing roads for this post to properly access, waterworks for these families to have proper sanitation, and then we have the lighting, because I've told you it's not far from the municipality, and you know the higher the population, the more the issues of crime and all that. So lighting will help these people live well in terms of even not only for security purposes but even economic.
Shamba yangu ni ya 40 by 80 na huwa nalima tu mahindi kidogo na maharagwe kidogo na kunisaidia, na nimefuga tu kidogo. Niko na kabusi kamoja, niko na tukuku kama 5 hivi. Naendelea tu kujipanga kimaisha. Juu vile maisha imekuwa magumu, najaribu tu, najitahidi kufanya tu mambo yenye naweza kwa hii shamba. Lakini naomba tu Mungu anisaidie, nikipata shamba mahali ingine, nipata pahali pazuri, hata naweza uza hapa ninunue huko, ndio nipate chakula ya kutosha kwa jamii yangu.
We also advise them not to sell, because land is very expensive, and when you have received your portion, you better reserve it. You can give it to your children as inheritance. You can do whatever activities and developments you want to do on that land. But when you sell, I mean, the only benefit you can get is the money you're getting. You may not be able to get another prime plot, because all these you see are in the municipalities and in the urban centers. They are very prime. So if they sell and they use some of these monies on other assignments, then they will not be able to get the exact land elsewhere. They can only go now up country, but not be in the town. So within town, there's a lot they can do. So we advise them not to sell. They can use it for their own development, and they can transfer it to their children as inheritance. We are very grateful. And from the community, I would just also want to represent the community in this case. We are very grateful to the development partners for this, because the government on its own could not be able to impact the much that we have impacted as a project if we did not have funding from the development partners. The government on its bit has done quite a number, but the progress is slower. So it gets vibrant when we get additional funding from the development partners. We request that they can continually support the project so that we can also impact more on these communities. We have not reached the heights that we wish to reach, and with any other funding from the donors, I know that we can impact more than we have done. The project is within the same state department of housing, where we also do the affordable housing. And affordable housing can only be done where there's land. So availability of land comes first, then the housing comes next. So when these beneficiaries have ownership of this land, then they can bargain with the government to do the affordable housing. And where there's land and the documentation is very clear, the government can easily come in and partner with these communities and do the housing. So once the community have titles, and normally we can do block titling, and that means that we bring together quite a number of beneficiaries to get one title where land is small. We can also do the community title, like have the settlement get just one title, and it becomes very easier when they have to be done, when the government has to come in now with the affordable housing. Community will be, I mean, the beneficiaries within these communities will be the first beneficiaries. Of course, they will pay cheaper, because they will not pay for land. They already have land, and then the amount they will be paying will just be for the houses, which makes it even easier for them to own a house where they could not be able to own on their own. We would say we're about 70% progress. We have, like I mentioned earlier, we have about 150 settlements that we are taking in. we are remaining with about 31, where the process is just almost starting. By March this year, we should be rolling out the final phase of this tenure regularization. So we have already impacted in almost 150. At this point, we have already received approvals from the counties, and the surveys have progressed. To some, we have already received even the RIMs. The survey outputs have been completed. So people, right now we are just working on the titling. By the end of the project, titling process will be probably halfway. So even when the project ends, then the ministry will still progress with the remaining bit of the titling, and people can now start even investing in these settlements. Very much appreciation for my team, because I don't work as an individual. I have my team who work with me, and they supervise this project. They supervise this, they sensitize the communities. So in every county, we have a supervisor, we have a lead person from my team who support the county and the communities in working around this. So I really want to appreciate my team for the teamwork they have shown for us to have achieved what we have achieved. And this part that we have come, actually, it is basically what they have done, and I appreciate them more for this. And I also want to appreciate our coordinator, who has been very supportive and being a surveyor and a planner. He has really guided us and guided this company towards where we are heading. And I know we will finish successfully because of the teamwork that we have. We have support from NLC, we have support from the ministry, the lands department, and we are working very well and closely with the counties, and I want to appreciate each and every one of them for their support and just having this tenure regularization successful as it is right now. And within the project, we also have my other colleagues from other components who also support this component, because even in tenure, there's also the engineering bit that we get support from the engineers. So for this, I really want to appreciate each and every one, the safeguards, all those, to have just achieved what we have achieved.